Well, one of the more troublesome stories in recent weeks and months has been the measles outbreak in Samoa. And the latest numbers from the government of Samoa shows that there's been 3,357 measles cases since the outbreak started back in sometime in September. And to date, 44 measles-related deaths have been recorded. And since the vaccination campaign began about a week ago, the ministry has successfully vaccinated 54,000 people. But as you can see on this chart, that of the fatalities, 40 of the 44 are 4 years and younger. So very, very troublesome. And this is really, really growing at a pretty fast pace. And to take a look at how bad it is, the population of Samoa is 197,646. And that tells me that the percentage is of the population of Samoa that has measles is 1.7% of the population. If you look at the 3,300 measles cases reported to date, and that number is probably only going to get higher. And to put that into perspective, if we look at the United States, who saw 1,261 measles cases this year, and compare that with our population of 329 million, that's about 0.00038% of the population that had measles. So as you can see, the outbreak in Samoa is really, really alarming and quite large. And it doesn't look like, it doesn't look like it's going to get any better. And that's according to the Director General. It says Samoa's Director General of Health says the measles epidemic has not yet peaked, despite widespread illness and rising death toll. And Taki Nasari told News Hub specific correspondents this epidemic has not yet peaked. He said there's likely to be more cases, more new cases, another increase in the death toll. And so they really are looking at some serious numbers to continue on the island of Samoa. And it says, despite vaccination being compulsory for all people aged 19 or younger, the majority of 6-month-olds to 4-year-olds are not immunized, despite being the most at-risk group. As I mentioned earlier, coverage of this demographic has yet to reach 40%. 40%. So very, very troubling. And one of the big problems are the anti-vax movement that's there and outside of there, and traditional healers. And this story tells us about a controversial healer in Samoa who attacked a checkpoint crew who tried to talk to him today has been shut down by authorities as the measles crisis escalates. His claim was that Kangen water, which is alkaline water processed through an expensive machine, is healing people of measles. But the government has shut him down and an investigation has been launched. It was shut down for health violations under the Public Health Act. And it goes on to say basically that these and other traditional healers and whatever you want to call them are coming to the population with these unprovable treatments for measles or for prevention of measles, while we know that the vaccination is very, very effective. So that's one of the big problems there. Another big problem is the anti-vax movement and social media influencer. In this article, they specifically talk about one person called Taylor Winterstein. She's an Australian Samoan influencer. I'm not sure what that means. She's a social media person, I imagine. She has gone on to Facebook and Instagram comparing Samoa's compulsory vaccination program as akin to Nazi Germany. And she says, forcing a medical procedure on an entire country. especially one that is proving to be ineffective, dangerous, and making the virus more deadly, is straight up barbaric. This is what Winterstein wrote. And she goes on to say, fascism is well and truly alive in Samoa. Well, not everybody is very thrilled with that. And this is one of her recent tweets on her, it's called Tay's Way. It says, remember when I said Samoa was turning into Nazi Germany? And no, I didn't edit my caption because of some news station. I changed it because too many people were missing the point on my supplement post to help with measles. So apparently she's pitching a supplement to treat measles. But she goes on and just, if you want to be injected with vaccines, go ahead, inject away, but understand that there are distressed parents in Samoa who do not want their children injected with this toxic MMR vaccine and are literally hiding in their homes. So, yeah, that's pretty frightening there, that people are actually thinking that and then letting the world know about it through social media. And then in this video, we see some other problems with the anti-vax movement coming to Samoa. And this video report tells us that our friend Robert Kennedy Jr. Has been to Samoa with Winterstein. Let's take a listen.
But One News has learned of a high-level anti-vax meeting organised in Samoa in June, just before this deadly measles outbreak. A US Embassy staff member facilitated a meeting between vaccination critic Robert Kennedy Jr., invited here for Samoa's independence celebrations, and Australian anti-vax blogger Taylor Winterstein. She'd been forced to cancel seminars in Samoa after being called a public health threat, but came anyway, publicising her meeting with the high-profile Kennedy as profoundly monumental for her movement.
The anti-vax.
So there's another problem. So the anti-vaccine movement is coming to Samoa, and Kennedy and Winterstein had this meeting conference in June of this year, and come September, we have this massive measles outbreak brewing on the island nation. And let me go ahead and just close with this, is that Samoa is getting a lot of help, though. And this is the latest from the UN, that 2 UN agencies and humanitarian partners have joined Australia and New Zealand to combat a measles outbreak in the South Pacific. Nearly 300,000 vaccines and medical supplies have been delivered by Thursday to reach populations most at risk in Samoa and other islands that are dealing with measles outbreaks, including Fiji and Tonga, something we've covered on the program before. So Samoa's got a big problem. 1.7% of their population has had measles in the past month or two. Pretty bad. And there's definitely a movement that is contrary to public health that's going on in Samoa that's really causing a lot of damage. So let's keep an eye on this, and hopefully these people, their voices don't resonate really well with the population, and public health will shun them. Anyway, that's what I got here. I hope you enjoyed it. Please share this with your friends, comment below, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I'll see you next time.